enforcement officer rolling up to a traffic stop. Already pulled the guy over. Second time he's made contact. Boy K9. The guy's blood is escalating inside right now. Moment of truth. Hopefully he's able to see him while he's inside his vehicle right now, even though he's outside of the camera. These are those very important moments. Could be the last moments of your life. Hands, 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 hands. Okay, and now we get to see it from another angle.
What's that?
And then these guys have to go to work. Alright. Boom! What's up, you guys? Let's see what we can learn from this thing. Byron Rodgers, Tactical Protection Review. Learn protection strategies from a protection professional. So when I'm looking at this situation here, a few things stand out instantly, right? Instantly. So let's dig into this. Traffic stop. He walks up. Interacting with the guy. Everything seems cool. Looks like they've been talking. So right there, we all know, once he says, I'm gonna run my K9 around your vehicle, this guy's at a choice point as he takes his driver's license back into the vehicle. This is where, in my opinion, you know, pulling vehicles over, and I'm not a law enforcement officer, just from, you know, my experience as a private security professional and as a Marine, this is a moment of truth. This is a very significant choice point here where my man in the hat has to make a decision. Am I gonna comply? Am I gonna fight for my life as he perceives it? He might be one of those, I ain't going back to jail, I'll die right here, right now types of people. In my opinion, when it comes to law enforcement work, you know, and I know as civilians, we see cars pulled over on the side of the road and we don't think twice, we think nothing of it. But in this line of work, pulling a vehicle over is literally playing Russian roulette with your life. It is writing a blank check that you might have to cash every single time. And the scariest thing about it is it'll go right 90% of the time, like a high percentage of the time. And so complacency can sink in and get you killed very easily. It's like human nature. It's like nothing wrong with you. We all have to fight complacency. But, you know, like I said, as civilians drive around, we see cops on the side of the road pulling people over every time. But you don't realize in the law enforcement profession, being the person who's there to be that authority and accountability, you are literally, those guys, every time you see that, are literally shooting dice that they don't pull over the car, or actually seeking the car that is going to be like, all right, not going back to jail. I'm gonna die here right now, and I'm taking this officer with me. Literally can happen anytime you pull a vehicle over. So this right now, the cop is probably tracking in his mind that I just gave this guy a choice point. I'm gonna escalate a little bit by requiring more compliance, and as I require that more compliance, the probability that this guy is going to manifest, get triggered, fight for his life, or try to kill me is now increasing. So this is where you have to really start looking for pre-threat indicators in nervous behavior, the way the guy's breathing, when you told him you're gonna escalate and do a little bit more to bring a canine or take him out of the vehicle. You know, what kind of behavior did you see his autonomic nervous system give you? You know what I'm saying? Did he start breathing? Did he start getting nervous? Did he move his hands? Did he start, just kind of getting fidgety a little bit? Or was he like, okay, like you've got to start picking up on those things. And you can write a lot of it off as stress increasing in that human's body. But when you start to see groups of different things, like All right, the guy's eyes are starting to get shifty. He's moving around. He's starting to move his hands. All right, when you start to see more than one or two indicators of nerves, you really need to start looking at it as almost actionable. Like, okay, I need to react to this and get myself in a position, a tactically advantageous position to deal with this threat. So he hands him that card. I don't know if this officer can see what this individual is doing in his vehicle because the camera, we can't really see in the camera, but this, after you hand that card to that individual and after that individual understands that you're going to escalate and bring a canine out and things like that are escalating, he is never out of your sight again until you have positive control over him. You want to make sure you control this dynamic. So the officer's got his flashlight, you know, that's possibly interfering with the guy's night vision a little bit, dimming his night vision. That's also indicating that, hey, I'm watching you, don't do anything too crazy. Don't do anything too crazy. Now, my man's getting ready to step outside of the vehicle. This is another significant moment. I also like to point out, I like that the officer is not standing directly outside of the individual's vehicle while he's in there making moves. The guy takes his license back, goes back into his vehicle. The officer is sitting here shaded to the right, so that guy can't start shooting him through the door before opening that door. Bullets go right through doors. The doors are it's like paper. So that was smart of him. Okay, now this guy's getting ready to hop out of the vehicle. You can barely see him in the camera. At this very moment, I can see both hands. I feel comfortable. I can see both hands. All right, right there is when you see my man reach back into his waist belt. At this moment right here, this is your last moment to make a move. I know everybody wants to, you know, give people the benefit of the doubt right now. BPC, I get that, but this moment right here is a very uncomfortable moment. Now put yourself in the police officer's shoes. You've got traffic zooming behind you, and you've got a partner. So you've got a partner, as we saw from the other image. His partner is actually right here where this other light's coming from. So you've got to think as the officer, where's the smart place to maneuver if you're going to draw a weapon, if you're going to attempt to escalate to control this guy. You know what I mean? So it's kind of a pretty sophisticated equation, and honestly the best answer I can think of, which is always, you know, the armchair quarterbacks always come with this answer, is you need to make sure you pull this guy off on the side of the road far enough to where you have enough room to move if you need to move, or approach the other side of the vehicle. Beyond all that, there's something that's about to happen with regards to geometries of fire that you really need to pay attention to if you do find yourself in a situation like this with a partner. So boom, right? Hands. From the moment he started getting out of that vehicle and he put his hand back behind him, in my mind, I'm like hands. And I probably like to say I would have started cheating with my firearm. I would have started drawing my firearm and I'd been like, let me see your hands. Let me see your hands. That's what, but I don't know their SOPs and their rules of engagement at that law enforcement agency. But to protect the safety of those officers, in my opinion, a move like that, you can also see here that this individual, yes, he's getting out of his vehicle, but that rocking forward motion that his body's making right now, this rocking forward motion right here is 100% in alignment and synonymous with someone reaching back to their 5 o'clock to draw a weapon, to draw a pistol. So that body language right there, along with what's happening and me escalating the situation, personally, I would have wanted to break leather. So I would have wanted to break leather here. Now he's still leaning, right? And that still would be telling me, hey, this guy's drawing something out of his back pocket. That's another huge, monstrous target indicator. Keep in mind, the guy's partner is over there to the right, still keeping an eye on things, but can't see what's happening. This weapon came out nice and slow, fortunately. It would have been nice if he could have got rounds on target somewhere in here. But this officer did a great job getting out of the way instantly, and I believe his partner cleaned up the rest of the work as that officer got off center line. The other huge consideration, great move, moving. The tough thing is he had to move laterally because the freeway was to his back, which is also very significant. Here's another view, and the danger of working with a partner, you guys really have to be on the same page, and you have to understand how each other's going to move. You can see this officer here is in a very dangerous spot with freeway traffic behind him and the aggressor coming this direction, and the best place is to get away from the freeway, but he's going to have to cross his partner's geometries of fire at the same time. coming back this way would have exposed him to more gunfire from this guy as he tracks in that direction, depending on his partner, to end that fight very quickly, which he may or may not have been able to do, because if this enemy dropped, changed levels on them, it becomes a way more complicated situation and makes it harder for this officer to then make that shot. Now, not to say this guy's that nimble, but I believe this officer did a great job getting out of the way. Fortunately, the partner did a great job not accidentally shooting his buddy while he was moving, but it's a very dangerous situation for a multitude of reasons. Anyways, I show these videos to you guys to help us all learn from what these men went through on this night. You know, what these men went through on this night in order to try to keep us all safe from evil in one way or another. Join us at the Protector Symposium. Train with us at the Protector Symposium. If you're in law enforcement, come train with us. We do law enforcement scholarships. Go to protectorsymposium.com. And this is Byron Rodgers, protector by nature and by trade. I look forward to seeing you guys on the next video out.